Black love is something that needs to be really highlighted because it's not highlighted enough. You know, obviously you see black people when they have, you know, struggles and, you know, what the hardships they're going to, so you don't really get to kind of see genuine black love between people.
We're in love and we're black, and
Right.
we know a lot of people like us that are in love and they're black.
Yep.
But we don't see ourselves anywhere when it comes to black love appreciation. So we wanted to create a show where we just highlight and appreciate black love in all of its forms. Really not all of its forms, but its alternative form or its LGBTQIA plus form.
I walked away because I thought she was it, and she cheated in a very dark place of her life, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I was never taught to work through cheating. It was just kind of like, you're worth more, so don't settle. So I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, and I did.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I came home and she was gone.
No, that's not funny, but that's fucked up. No, but I definitely remember calling your phone and you didn't answer either.
Yeah, because we lived together. I'll see you when I get home. But whatever.
Oh,
No,
after.
whatever you did, whatever, it's fine. Like, you did what you thought you needed to do, so whatever.
As the person who didn't really get to explain or have closure, what was it like for you to have to walk away from the relationship?
It was really hard for me to not be able to talk about it, but at the same time, I wasn't in a great place, so I just kept it for like 10 years. But I think that everything happens for a reason. It was a reason why it happened. It was, for me, it was our introduction. Like, that was like we were introduced to each other, like, and I had a lot of things that I had to work out along the way, and I feel like I did. I don't know about you, but I feel like I did. Like, I still have work to do, but like those things that I was going through, then they're out of the way. That would be the only issue that we would have, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, even though we didn't have like a title or didn't, you know, I broke up with Corey probably once a week, twice, and probably like every other week that I wasn't breaking up with her, she's probably breaking up with my ass.
And whatever.
You broke up with me a few times too. So yeah, so definitely, like, even though we definitely walked away and came back and walked away and came back and came back.
It just be hard because, you know, you can't, sometimes when people piss you off, you don't know if you can trust them again to, you know, make a change. But then at the same time, you love this person and you see, you know, the good in them. You see, you know, the light in them, and you just want to keep going. Like, so that's what I do. I think I forgive a little bit easier, but we've both forgiven each other about a lot of stuff. And I'm probably going to keep forgiving. Like, she, like, you, like you be doing wrong, but at the same time, you can't do no wrong, you know? So, that's just how it's going to go, you know?
Yes, kind of. A little bit. There was one time. What happened? Do you remember?
All I know is I was in a car driving, and I was at a car wash. And you asked me to actually tell you things about you that... What did you ask me? You asked me
No, I think we were like not communicating properly, and I was just kind of like, honestly, I don't think that we should be together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know, we might love each other or care about each other, but this is not working for me at all. And her response was, just give me a little bit more time. Give me a little bit more time. Can we just try? I think you were like 2 months or something. And then if I don't want to be with you, then it's cool. She'll walk away. If I wanted her to move out, she would like stay with a relative or find her own place. But I want to say yes me for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of like, I need to think about it. Because I just didn't feel, it was such a tough time. And I just felt so overwhelmed with everything. That I just didn't think I had it in me to make this particular relationship work. And before I hurt her, I would have just walked away for sure. But she was like, no, we're gonna work through this. You'll see. I was like, are we?
What time frame was that? Do you remember?
I was on the same, it was the summer. It was like July.
So when all the bills and shit was happening?
Yeah, I was super duper. I just felt so overwhelmed with like having to like cater to her, and we're opposite, so it was work. Having to like I was figuring out my financial situation. I didn't feel as attracted to her. I didn't feel like that thing that you should feel, you know, I didn't feel. And it was just kind of frustrating. We weren't communicating very well. I don't even think I really cared to communicate very well. I was like shutting down a lot. Like, there's no point of even talking about this. I felt like I just let a stranger live with me, and I've just regretted it all the time. And so I was just like, this isn't working. I think that's exactly what I said. This isn't working. And I was trying to explain to her like why it wasn't working. And she was just like, these answers are not satisfying my curiosity. And I was just like, I would rather walk away now than drag it out later. And she was like, I just want to keep working on this.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, I think with any of our, I mean, it's only been 2, right?
Yeah, we've only, it's been 2
It's only
times.
been 2.
They were hard times. But,
I think it was just understanding, lack of understanding and lack of communication, and just not being, things being so cloudy and so blurry that we weren't able to see each other. And we were only able to see ourselves, and it was kind of like, okay, well, if all I can see is myself, or all I have is myself, then that's what I'm gonna walk away with is myself. I've always been a big person on, if this is it, if this is over, let's at least close this the right way. Because I think it's very important to have closure, because if you don't have closure, then just things get left uncertain and unanswered, and then you move on. Even if you move on to a different relationship, you're moving on with baggage from things that you haven't dealt with.
I'll say that I'm different in that perspective. I'm the cutter offer. I will cut you off, and I will cease communication, and that really affected us a lot, and that's because of my past relationships. I'm cutthroat. I remember one time I was dating a guy, and I didn't want to date him anymore, and so I moved my ex-girlfriend in the house the next day and moved him out. So I could, because I didn't want to deal with him. He was a little clingy, and we've been talking for about 2 years, but we had an issue. It was a real big issue, and I said, I can't deal with this no more. He kept on coming to my house. I said, I know how to feel. I know how to solve this, and I moved her right in the next day, and it broke his heart, and it broke my heart a little bit too. But I was ready for it to be over. So that's my past relationships, but obviously they were unhealthy. So in this relationship, I brought that with me, but I've learned that that's not the way to kind of. You always have to keep that line of communication open. You always have to kind of talk to people. You always have to be present in the relationship?
Some petty shit.
Probably more than likely.
And I don't like the way you said this. Well, I don't like the way you treated me then.
Well, I'm done. You give
Well,
me
fuck
my
you.
flag.
Yeah,
it definitely probably was just, and I think a lot of that comes from just being unsure and being scared and being, it took me a minute to like.
And nobody want to be wrong, and nobody want to swallow their pride, and nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it took me a minute to let Corey in, and I'm so protective and over extremely guarded. Well, you're not gonna treat me like that, and I'm not having that, and I'm not doing that, and like that's just like
It could be some little shit.
just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't do that to me. Like I just be feeling crazy all the time. But I think that I'm always like so defensive about everything that like I had to learn how to like just like let naturally like just let her love me, and I think that that's what's like that's when I feel like the most comfortable with it all is like just being able to just say all right, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like
that is the best feeling, because sometimes you feel like you ain't never gonna not be mad at the person. You know what I'm saying? Like you just be sitting there in the room by yourself like this shit is dumb.
I'm angry forever. I'm never letting this shit go.
This shit and then you be like, this shit is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, and then we're like, what you doing?
You want to get something to eat?
Right. Fuck it.
I never really got over her. Like, I never stopped loving her. Obviously, I kept my tattoo. And I felt like she was always the one for me. Like, she was my soulmate. But it took a lot of work for me to get to where I need to be as a woman. Like, I was a kid then. I had, like, a lot of issues that I needed to deal with, which I think I did. I still got some things that I got to deal with. But, like, I always felt like that was my introduction to the person that I was supposed to be with, and everything that I went through along the way was, like, helping me to understand how it is to love unconditionally, and be able to go through anything. So now I feel like there's nothing that we cannot overcome. Like, cheating, obviously, that should never happen, but for me, it's never going to happen. I was just, like, a horrible person then, so... For me, that was for me though. I don't know.
I think now, because even after like that long period of time, like all those times she reached out, I was still like, ugh, like it still left like this really, I still felt it, like the pain of her cheating, the pain of me having to give up what I had like assumed as this perfect lifestyle. Like I wanted the life of 2 kids, a girl and a boy, like this picket white fence. This was my life at the time. And when she cheated, everything crashed for me. And for years I never dealt with it. I didn't see her. So to me it was like out of sight, out of mind. And then 2 years ago when she popped up, I was kind of like, I have questions. These questions need answers. And I started asking the questions, but even then I didn't really think that I got the answer that I needed, or it just didn't resonate with me. And up to what was it, like a couple months ago, like maybe five or 6 months ago, when we had the real conversation of like what happened and what needed to be done, like it resonated. Like I could feel that she was sorry. Not to say like the times before when she apologized I didn't believe her, but I didn't. I'm serious. Like 6 months ago was the first time that when you apologized, like I felt it, like it moved a part of me where I was just like, you clearly still love her. There's something still there. And it was almost like a flame was like relit in a sense. And I just kind of wanted my family back. And I loved her still. I just didn't like her. And I could not like somebody for a long time.
Conversation, talking. We do the whole texting thing. We send paragraphs and monologues and and then we do the phone conversations. And at the end of the day, it's the genuine love. you know when you have something. At the end of the day, you know when you have something, and you know when you always have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And if it's worth it, it's worth fighting for.
And I usually do. I mean, I think it usually comes down to me doing the same thing, and I'm just like, hey, do you want this or do you not want this? Is it something that you want to work on? Because ultimately, again, with the whole problem solution thing, I feel like obviously we're not gonna solve world hunger in a day.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. But at the end of the day, can you look at me right now and tell me this isn't what you want? Because if that's where you are, I can accept that and I can understand it, and we can plan to move forward with that. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm gonna get on a knee and cry, or I'm gonna just let you go. You know what I'm saying? I'm very big. I've always been very big on every relationship to where, and I think black women could definitely resonate with this. Is like, I ain't chasing no nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to chase nobody. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but in the sense, I will chase you if you allow, if you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to chase someone that it's clear that I'm wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Chase you because you got to meet me in the middle, because I'm gonna meet you in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And at times, and I think the biggest thing I learned in therapy is that, people always so big about, relationship is 50-50. You got to give 50. No, a relationship is not 50-50. Relationship is 80-20. Sometimes it's 90-10. Sometimes it's 99-1. Sometimes it's 50, 45, and it's 5 that we don't even know what happened to it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to know that if you're in this relationship and that this is what you want to do, that you're going to give your all. And if your all is 90% one day or your all is 10%, you have to give your all. And that the other half of you have to compensate for that, because that's what it is. Nothing is 50-50 in a relationship. And if people keep thinking that, then they're going to keep falling short, or they're going to keep having unrealistic expectations, because it's not that. It's it's never that. Once you realize that and you identify that, then you get to the point to where you can ask yourself, is this person worth me giving 90% today? Is this person worth me giving 99% today? And if the person's not, then there's your answer. But if that person is, you know what I'm saying, are you willing to do it? Then, you do it, and you do what you got to do. Because there will be a time when you only have 10%, and that person will have to step to the plate and give that 90, because they will remember all those times that you gave that 90.
Oh, so I'm like, honestly, the last couple of months, so like, and it's so crazy, and I'm gonna be transparent with this, but like I said, we've been dating for over a year and a half. And these last couple months has just been like everything.
Man, what?
And I think it's probably been the best time of our entire time of.
It's like that potential.
It's like that
coming to
life.
Like,
okay, I might can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I got it. And it's like, because we've been working not just on each other, but working with each other. And I think that's made the world of a difference. You know what I'm saying?
And on ourselves. We've been working on ourselves.
And on ourselves, definitely.
Listening to each other and being more attentive, as to what we need to make this shit work. Because at the end of the day, we know we want to.
Yeah.
It's just hard sometimes trying to figure out how to. And I think, we cracked the code on that.
I think that in the most thing is we both try. And I think
and keep trying.
And I think that before it's been fuck, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about to keep doing that, But at the same time, it's like, if you feel like something is worth it, or you just gotta put a little more oomph into it.
And some things you just gotta accept. Yeah. Like, you be late all the time.
Childish, to everything.
It don't matter. You be late, right? I'm giving an example. You be late all the time.
These one of the times when I have to try to
be quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm very punctual. Okay. And sometimes you just have to accept things like, I love this girl, so I guess I'm gonna just have to be late for shit the rest of my life, even though it makes my fucking skin crawl. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, go with that.
just learning how to just accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
Like it's shit about you that I just have to.
Like
it don't matter.
Like what?
I just know that I accept it.
What
And
you
it's
said?
whatever. You. All of me. All of you.
All of me.
Period.
That's
like
right.
and I think that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, once you can learn to accept somebody for who they are and all they lateness.
That's the moral of the story.
It don't
That's
matter.
the moral of the story.
No, I got
though.
you. I feel you.
You know?
So she was like, give me like 2 months and let's figure it out. And she just kind of like, I don't think that I realized she was my partner before that. And, she's just kind of like, what's the problem? What's the problem? Because she's like that kind of person. Tell me the problem and then I will do everything I can to fix it. Right? But she's not psychic and she does not pretend to be. I'll tell you right now. So she was just kind of like, what's the problem? And from there it was just like, I listed all these things that I felt like were wrong. And she was just like willing to like work on it and actually take a step back and realize, oh shit, this is my partner and I kind of need to step up. And then for me it was like, I finally realized this is my partner and I do need to like lean on her and be okay with being more vulnerable with myself when it comes to her. And it wasn't even 2 months. It was like 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't believe I was like gonna walk away.
Yeah, I feel like in those situations, a lot of it, like you said before, it was low-key kind of like resentment. Or it was also things that I didn't know. Like she said, I don't pretend to be a psychic. So if you don't tell me something's an issue, but you walk around acting every day like everything's normal and fine, then it's kind of hard for somebody to detect an issue unless you've been together with that person for so long that you know that they're lying. But because everything happened as fast as it did, as quick as it did, you can't pick up on those like little notes. It was just kind of like, damn, you know what? She might be feeling some type of way because you don't know.
Right.
So it was definitely, I never felt the need to leave my relationship. I always felt like if there was a problem, I'm willing to step up to do my half and, figure out like what the fuck the problem is and to fix it and to move on from it and things like that. And by me saying that doesn't mean to fully alter who you are as a person, but, people are different. You love people different. People want to be loved different, and people need to be loved different. So coming from a long-term relationship, coming from a long-term relationship, you're used to certain ways of life, used to certain ways of thinking, used to how people should be.
How someone else was.
That way. Yeah. And so, it's just, you don't realize that you're still expecting that or, expecting that with this new person. And so that's kind of a setback that I had. And I can't speak for you, but it's just, one of those things. Like, what is the problem? I don't realize that I'm doing something because this is just how I've been for a while. So it's just like, what's up? And then there's that. But nobody can fix any issue without knowing what the problem is. Period.
How did you feel when she started asking the questions that you never got to really answer?
I felt good and bad at the same time because even though like I have apologized for doing what I did, like I'll probably spend the rest of my life trying to make it okay because it's just horrible. Like you just shouldn't do that to anybody. But also it was something that it was something that had never happened. So we were going somewhere. So I was like happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I never asked.
Never asked.
I was like blocked. It was never a question. I was just like, here goes this bitch again. Get out of here.
Yeah, I had to be very consistent though over the last 2 years.
I think, I love a man who is determined, who, really knows what he wants, you know what I'm saying? And, really he's really I mean, sometimes this could be a little. I'll just say it, his arrogance attracts me to him sometimes. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But I know I could be arrogant in my craft too. You know what I'm saying? When you're good at something, you know you're good at something, and that sometimes that arrogance is attractive, so he's very arrogant at times, and it's a turn on.
Just confident, I've been through a lot, I think what, like I said from the get, talent always is very attractive to me, because you have more to offer than what's on the outside. If I had to, I would say the first thing that I was attracted to him, because his name was just in my phone for a long time, and I think he hated it.
God.
But for at least 6 months, until I realized he didn't like it, then I changed it. But his name was Dimples in my phone, because I just thought he had the cutest dimples. Like, I just thought it was the sexiest thing ever, because he got dimples on his face and he got dimples on his back too.
Oh,
so it's like, so I call him Dimples. And so, but yeah, I always, for a long time, I think that, people would say, what's your type? And I'm like, I ain't got no type, whatever. But
he has a type.
I like chocolate.
He got a type.
And, he's a nice little,
what?
Cup of
hot chocolate.
Of hot chocolate.
Good hot chocolate.
Good hot chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I don't think it's just one thing that I love about him. It's too many to count. So.
Dang, her personality. Like,
I thought you was gonna say my booty.
Ooh, damn, that was.
I was
thinking that shit. I was thinking that shit, but I ain't want to be rude.
All right, I got you.
But no, for real, it is like your personality is just so crazy. Like, it's strong, it's bubbly, it's happy, it's motivating, it's everything. Like, you just are a fucking light, and I love having that around me.
For me, it would definitely have to be like I think you're so smart, and that's like attractive to me. Like, it's anytime I can have a conversation with somebody and feel like I'm really having a conversation and not, because I like to talk. So if I can talk to somebody, don't do that. If I can talk to somebody and feel like what they're saying is important, and I'm willing to listen, and we can hold a conversation, like, and they actually got some, like, they saying some smart shit, like that's a turn on to me. Like, I love the fact that you're able to, like, just, have a combative political conversation, have a combative religion conversation, have a combative. Like, I like that you always have an opinion and you always feel the opposite of what everybody else feels. Because I think that it takes a powerful and a strong person to be able to stand alone, no matter what the circumstances is. So that's definitely what attracts me to you the most.
Ooh, what's crazy is how this question can change with time. I know that when I initially met her, the thing that what?
I'm gonna say, what's initially, like, before we met at Naja's event, or when we actually started hanging out?
When I met you, the thing that, like, most attracted me to you was just your confidence, and I really like how you're able to you're like always work. Like, I admire that so much, that she's not easily distracted by, like, BS, because I'm easily distracted. You gonna give me some gossip? I'm gonna stop talking real quick, and I'm gonna let you give me the gossip. But she's like, I don't care about that gossip right now. You give me the gossip later. We need to finish what we're doing right now. I'm super duper attracted to her. When I first, like, met her or became acquainted with her, I loved the fact that she seemed serious about herself. She took herself so serious, and you could tell then that she was not the kind of person that was easily distracted by, the pointless things happening in the world. I thought that was cute. And then I got to know her, and I thought it was super duper attractive the way that she was just like open with everything when it came to herself. Like, she is so open. I'm more closed off, and I tell you what I want you to know about me, but I'm not telling you everything about me. She's okay with telling you everything about her, and I'm just like, this is kind of weird. But then since I've been with her, like right now in this moment, 1 year and an engagement in, one of the things that like attracts me to her the most is how gentle she is with my heart. Like, she's just one of those people that really do want to love you. She does, through like the good times and the bad times. If I curse her out right now, her initial response won't be to curse me out back. It'll be to freaking hug me. And I love that. If I'm like sick, her thing isn't like, oh, that's crazy, I'm gonna go sit in the room, you stay in here though. Her thing is like, all right, I'll be right back. And then she'll go get me every kind of medicine in the store and be like, I don't know what works, but this is what they had. I got all of it. I didn't know. Like that kind of thing. I'll keep the receipt if I need to take something back. It's like that kind of thing, and that's super duper attractive. And she just like, even when it comes to like, I don't know, kissing me, she like, it's not just like a kiss, it's just, she takes her time to kiss me, the person, and I just find that very attractive. Did you know that?
No. I don't even know how to respond to that. That's crazy.
I'm pretty. No, I'm kidding.
One of the first things that I was attracted to, since we're doing it like that, one of the first things that I was attracted to is also one of the most things that's intimidating, is how confident you are and how smart you are. Like, but not like smart, just like regular smart. It's like educated and just interest and hobbies and you're interested in film, but know like different directors, different, like you just know so much about everything. Like, your intellect level is so like attractive and intimidating at the same time, because I'm just like, I don't know how to meet you halfway with that. Like, I'm not intellect, maybe, there. But when it comes to like education, also knowing exactly what you're talking about, being able to pull facts from archives from 10 years ago, because like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have it. However, initially, that being as attractive as you are, and also being so loving that she's had shown me unconditional love since day one. And I didn't realize it. I thought that I knew what unconditional love, but when I met her, I'm just like, damn, I got a lot to learn. Like, it's crazy to me, because not only will she tell you the truth about who you are, she's telling you the truth about who you are for you to accept who you are, not because she doesn't like this part about you. And so that's one of the first things that I was attracted to. That still is a main attraction to you. It's just kind of like, this past year has been the hardest year of my entire life, ever. It's been the lowest. I haven't had the finances. Like, I have had the most struggling year that I've ever had. And she hasn't budged a bit. Like, of course, there's some things that were said to come into the relationship, or just miscommunication or lack of communication. But it's just kind of like, I love you. I see you for who you are. I see your flaws. I see what you bring to the table. I see, you know, where your faults are. Like, I see all of the above, and I still love you for who you are, and I want to be with you and spend the rest of my life with you. Everybody cannot do that. I genuinely feel like everybody cannot be in your shoes to handle all of what I put you through, to handle, you know, seeing a potential with somebody and wanting to be in a relationship with that person, allowing them to move in 2.5 weeks later, less than 2.5 weeks later, you know, and just trying. Like, everybody cannot jump on this fucking roller coaster. So it's like, we both knew that it was going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just being able to provide that support system for the person that you're dating is definitely not an easy thing. And just spending every day with you and seeing you willing to work on things as well. And it's hard when you don't feel like somebody's meeting you halfway. But then when you recognize that somebody is, it's just kind of like, I'm willing to invest 120%, 1,000% into this person because I know that they're not just going to walk away. They're at least going to work on what we have. And I've always been willing to build an empire with you because of what you bring. Gay as fuck. But we gay as hell.
Not me.
I'll say I thought I wanted to leave, but I don't think it was ever a situation I wanted to leave but stay because I think it was unfinished. You know what I'm saying? If any moment to where you would even think that things were unclear and unfinished, you can't make decisions like that when you're in the midst of a heated argument or you're in the midst of something that's bad or ununderstanding or bad communication. Those aren't the times when you leave a relationship. Those aren't the times when you leave somebody because you're leaving someone in a place that's foggy. So then when the smoke clears and all that's gone and you realize what's left, then it's like, okay, now we need to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was ever a time when I knew I wanted to leave, but I stayed. For me, it wasn't.
Yeah, by leave, I would say that it's been time. There are definitely times when I feel like I need to leave. That at that point, at that moment, like I need to get out the house, you know. But never really leave the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Even the times when we have broken up or whatever, you know, it's never been I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? It's never been I don't want to be with you. It's just that I don't think that we need to be together until we can figure out the next step to get past whatever we just got past, you know. So, you know, I'll say I need to leave at the moment. Like I need to take a walk down the street and come back and kind of clear my head so we could talk about what happened. But I think it's never been a time when I need to leave because I don't love you. No.
The advice I would give to new couples is you don't need to rush anything. If you feel like you need to rush your relationship, you must not trust yourself or that relationship. I think take your time with each other. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be with somebody long term or for forever or whatever the case, there should be no problem with taking your time and getting to know them and getting to know you with them, right? Because like we know ourselves, whether we want to admit we know ourselves or we don't. We know ourselves because we've been with ourselves our entire lives, so we know ourselves. Mm-hmm. But what you don't know is you with that person,
right?
So take your time, get to know you with that person, and then, you know, let whatever is going to manifest, but don't rush anything. If you grow unnaturally, at some point you're going to stop growing.
Right. So
let things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. Don't try to force things to happen or make things happen. For sure.
For sure. One of the advice that I would give people is, you know, if you genuinely love somebody, love that person. Like, of course, if something's unhealthy, then it's unhealthy. But you gotta know how to love somebody unconditionally, how to love somebody to help them grow, how to love somebody that's, you know, if somebody's trying to give you 100%, meet them halfway. Like, genuinely just giving that person the same energy that they give you, as well as supporting the person that you want to be with. I think those are definitely some things that go not necessarily unnoticed, but maybe unacknowledged sometimes, with you being in a relationship with somebody. So, yeah, and communication. Communication is always the key. If you guys can't communicate, there's no way for you guys to build a relationship or grow from any issues and move on from them in an effective way. So if you don't love your partner unconditionally, it's kind of hard to build a sustainable long-term relationship with that person.